Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. It's that time again. Our House Mondays. I welcome you all. I welcome all hardworking gig workers, drivers, delivery peeps. Just share whatever's on your mind. Let us know what happened on the weekend. Hope you had an amazing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hope you made money. Hope you got to spend quality time with your family, right? Carrie Watson opens up with a comment, says, would you like to assist me lay out the rideshare app I'm creating to abolish existing solutions? Why fight their business model? Let's show them with responding. Let's do it. Well, firstly, I love your attitude. Just the fact that you say, let's do it. One of my favorite slogans is just do it, the Nike slogan, right? Don't talk about it, just do it. People around me, they're often like, yep. I said, don't talk about it, just do it, right? Where people generally fail is that they talk a lot, right? It's like the start cycle. They start projects, they do a little bit, but they don't complete, right? They don't complete. So, starting something, doing it, and completion, full circle, full 360, that's when you feel accomplished. That's when you get things done. So my guess is you're in the start cycle right now, Carrie. Sure. I mean, in the rideshare business, I'd say people say, well, why reinvent the wheel? Right? Why not just copy what Uber and Lyft are doing and make it better? And understand that many rideshare companies have tried that, right? They've literally copied Uber and Lyft. They've tried to survive in a market, maybe like Austin, Texas, maybe like San Francisco, like Sidecar, and they tank. And when you look at the reasons why many of these companies tank, right, why they go under, it's because you'd think that Uber and Lyft work on their own. No, they work together. They work as a syndicate. They work as a monopoly, right? And what they do is there's a lot of money behind Uber. There's a lot of money behind Lyft. And they subsidize, discount, always, riders, king, subsidize, discount, lowest of the lowest rates. Why do they do that? To push out any newcomer out of the market. So when Carrie Watson comes along with that new idea, that new start cycle, right? And I'm giving you a lot of credit for wanting to bang heads with him. You got to understand you're up against a monstrous cutthroat machine, right? So I know a lot of rideshare companies that would love to dive right into California, right into New York, right now. But they're also smart business people. They also say, well, during the pandemic, hang on, this business is only, which brings me to a graph that I got to bring up here. This business is only 30% functional at the moment. 70% of this has evaporated. It's gone, right? It's gone. And people don't want to go into a market that's volatile, that has the pandemic, where you have to spend a lot of marketing dollars to make noise, but there's no trips out there, right? So people are holding back. It's like a flight pattern. They'd like to land, they'd like to participate, they'd like to get involved, they'd like to market, but they're holding back, right? And then I'm just going to throw out a graph here. Look at that graph. What do you think that is? So this graph on this side here, you can see it's all the way down, and it went all the way up. These, my friends, are US car sales. US car sales are going through the roof. So they're having one of the best quarters ever now, even during the pandemic. Why? Why is that, Carrie? Why is that? It's because rideshare is so far down. All of those people that were relying on rideshare to work, back from work, going here, going there, didn't need a car, right? Thought, well, it's so cheap. It's so cheap and it's so well discounted. Why do I need a car? Why do I need an insurance? Why don't I free up my garage at home and I don't need a car in there. I don't have to go through all those cleaning costs, insurance costs, blah, 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 wear and tear, maintenance. No, I'll catch an Uber or Lyft. Well, guess what? That market has evaporated. That market is in the middle of the pandemic. People play it safe. They don't want to jump into a foreign car with their masks. And they say, screw this. The interest rates right now in the United States, whether you're a first-time home buyer or a first-time car buyer or a third-time car buyer, they're so low. These interest rates are so low. So there's two factors here why these car sales are going through the roof. A, you've never seen interest rates this low. So it's so cheap to get a car. They're throwing the car to you. Please take the car, right? And people are playing it safe. So car sales are going through the roof. And here's a point I want to make, Carrie, and I know I'm going on a long tangent or like a long way to get to the finishing line to explain this to you, right? Because Carrie had the opening statement. I want to run with that because, today is about sharing, about suggestions, opening up here in Our House Mondays, sharing and comparing, right? So when you are a first-time car buyer right now, or second-time car buyer, and you've committed to this car for 4 or 5 years at that low interest rate, do you think you're going to go back to rideshare? You've just bought this car. So if you think that this is just a fix in 6 or 12 months' time and that industry is back, no, it won't, because these people are all going out and buying cars. They're all going out and buying the cars. Look at the graph in 2020. It's going through the roof all the way up. I'm on my way up. Fat Joe, I'm on my way up. I'm on my way up, right? By the way, if you guys ever want to watch some good interviews with Fat Joe, go and watch Fat Joe interview Mike Tyson and go and watch Fat Joe interview my friend Jamie Foxx, my client. Right? Go and watch that. Hilarious. You'll laugh your ass off. But Carrie Wilson says, we will offer more than service for food, grocery packages and documents, alcohol, medical, marijuana, professional services, and rideshare. Call me 501. Where are you first? What city? Laura Edith Lopez is in the house. No on Proposition 22. Shout out. Halil Kuroglu, my friend from Turkey, right? I always remember we spoke about Antalya yesterday. Mr. G's in the house. Jimmy Abstract's in the house. Rick Nelson, howdy all. Dave Chin is in the house. I welcome you. It's Moose is in the house. He says, I've been in the trenches of the YouTube comments giving excellent arguments on why to vote no on Proposition 22. I've been replying to comments and answering questions. It's good for SEO for no on 22. Thank you, and thank you again. It's Moose for doing that. And it's one of my topics that we're going to bring up today and share, because where Uber and Lyft are really slugging it out, it's on Facebook. It's on Facebook. They are spending a fortune on Facebook running ads. And there's a lot of movement. I'm like, it's Moose. I jump into those rooms, right? And battle it out. This is almost like a street battle, right? Online social media street battle where we're battling it out. And if someone comes with good arguments on yes on 22, I'm always respectful, but I don't mind throwing the punches, right? Because I believe we're on the right side with no on 22. But I'll listen to anyone. I'll listen to anyone on this show, on any other channel, put it out there why they believe yes on 22 should fly. I saw a video today that Jay Credeur is leaving the rideshare guy. I haven't watched the video. Maybe you guys have watched. I don't know what the main reason is for him to leave. Interesting, but I'll check it out. I welcome a good friend here, Inland Empire Salvi, legend. Good afternoon. How's everyone? Thank you. Anonymous Giraffe, always really enjoy your input. Those people will continue to use Uber at night to drink and not drive. Carrie Watson is in Arkansas. Carrie, look, here's my email. At least, at minimum, what I can do is give you some good feedback, right? I also sit on the board of directors with local driver co-op in Canada. And I know the only reason why we're holding back is because, we went out there and got grants and monies and built the infrastructure, built the apps, but it's all about timing in business. It's all about timing. Why would I lead a crew out into dangerous waters and spend all of this money trying to get out of dangerous waters? Pandemic, right? Marketing dollars, blah, blah, blah. You follow me. It's all about timing. So when this subsides, right, and people jump back in there, and again, I can't even pinpoint a time, because I think this is going to go with the numbers we have right now, with the crazy spikes in the United States, in Europe. I see this going well beyond mid-2021, unless everyone is on board and does their bit, right? And it doesn't make you less macho because you walk around with a mask. Nurses do it, doctors do it for years, right? We've been wearing seat belts for years. Why do we wear seat belts? Because they keep us safe in an accident. Why should we wear masks? Because they keep us safe. There's very, very different opinions on this one. But I would love to have that conversation with Carrie Watson. I put my email out there. Galactic Rooster, love that name, is in the house. Is howdy. John Durham's in the house. F-no on Prop 22. F-you, Derek K. I like it. Rashim Allen's there. There's no good arguments for yes on 22. Yesterday's video, I made a video. It got over 1,300 views in one day. My argument was, hey, they have employees and independent contractors at their headquarters. Fact. At Uber headquarters at 1455 Market Street, they have employees and independent contractors. At Lyft. Fact. Why can't they offer like a flexible program to their other workers, to the people that bring in the money and pay their salaries? I mean, we do the work, let's be honest. We bring in the work that pays the engineers so that they can write the algorithms, and then executives get fat checks. We bring in the money, wheelbarrows and wheelbarrows of money. They burn through it, right? So I just asked those guys on top, Logan Green, John Zimmer, Dara Koshashawi, if you are listening in, be open to the fact that I believe there is a solution called a flex program. Allow people to choose. Put in place a true independent contractor driving program. Put in place an employee program, right? And it all, again, depends on how many hours somebody can work. Some people can only work 15 hours. Some people want to do 65 hours, right? We had Robert Hunick on here yesterday who said he did 65 hours last week. I know a lot of people that only do 10, 15 hours per week as a side hustle. Come up with a flex drive program that keeps everyone happy. And Javier Becerra, I got to say that you got to bring some flexibility to the table with California. You got to talk to these characters. I did a video earlier on in the Rideshare Driving School channel where, if you read between the lines, Javier Becerra on many occasions says, we are in talks, we are in discussions. The interviewer says, well, what are those discussions about? I can't talk about it because it's an ongoing process. If I hear the words, we are in talks, we are in discussions, I think that's a good thing. That means diplomacy. What do you say? What do we have to offer? Let's figure something out. Let's figure some shit out here for all three sides. Gig companies, state, and the workers. All parties have to have a win-win-win. And, people like, so, well, government should stay out, California should stay out. No, they should not stay out. They haven't seen a cent from Uber, because all Uber does is every quarter declare loss after loss after loss. They use the highways, the airports, the byways, the streets, the freeways. They don't pay a cent in. They have all their patents and companies registered in Ireland offshore. They don't pay a single cent in the system. And California is sick and tired of that after 10 years. The California taxpayer is sick and tired of bailing out Uber and Lyft. And nor should a California citizen bail out Uber and Lyft. That's why I think no on Proposition 22 is going to prevail. I had a good Australian friend. We formed a company together in 2002. We've been friends for 18 years, Andrew Carmen, right? Do real estate with him. And he said, oh, by the way, Torsten, I did some research, who paid for Proposition 22. He's like me. He researches the propositions and the ballots. And he says, there's no way I'm voting yes. This is a California citizen that doesn't even drive, right? All my clients, probably 80, 90 clients will contact me, email, hey, how should we vote? Because they know I'm a driver. Say you vote no on 22, and here's the reason why. Oh, thank you, makes complete sense. I will vote no. So as many people as we can reach, right? As many people as you can connect with, the better. The better. Now, Dennis Torres just walked in. Dennis Torres, I'm going to try to get down to the LBC this week. I believe Rideshare Drivers United dropped off some big banners for me at our Long Beach mechanic shop. They want us to hang them up. I said, sure, we'll hang up those big no on Prop 22 on Redondo Boulevard. So as you drive by, Dennis, you'll know that we put those up there. Those should be going up this week, right? John Durham, Scott Tucker is in the house. Was it Main Place Mall in Santa Ana Orange area yesterday? Amazed at how many people were there. The mall is wide open and everybody's wearing a mask. As long as they're wearing a mask, as long as they're wearing a mask. Dennis. Ryan Lang, MVP, class in session. How are you, buddy? Hey, we're all participating in the class, one giant class, right? Nobody's the teacher, nobody's the student. We're all equals. David Chin, be right back. BRB, see you soon. So another lawsuit today, another lawsuit, right? As if Uber can't get a break. They just cannot get a break, right? They got sued for $260 million 72 hours ago. Another lawsuit, it says Uber fires drivers based on racially biased star rating system, lawsuit claims. And I read that headline and I'm like, wow, okay, another lawsuit. But what is this about? I didn't quite understand the headline. So a former Uber driver in San Diego on Monday sued the ride-hailing company for racial discrimination on how it uses passengers' reviews to evaluate drivers. Can you make any sense of that? I mean, trying to follow the logic here. Company for racial discrimination on how it uses passenger reviews to evaluate drivers. The company relies on a star rating system, which the lawsuit says disproportionately leads to the firing of people who are not white or who speak with accents. Interesting. Well, I have a strong accent. No wonder they got rid of me, right? I have a powerful South African accent. That's why they kicked me off the. But let's read this. Uber has long known that relying on a system that depends on passenger evaluation of drivers is discriminatory, wrote the driver's lawyer, Shannon Liss-Riordan. Oh, here we go. She's getting involved in this one. She's involved in a lot of lawsuits. Shannon Liss-Riordan in the federal lawsuit, which was filed in San Francisco and is seeking class action status. The suit claims Uber fires drivers if their average ratings drop too low. That is true. The suit aims to represent all minority Uber drivers who have been kicked off the app because of poor star ratings. It asks a court to order Uber to stop using passenger evaluations when deciding whether to ban drivers from the app. Uber's use of this system to determine driver termination constitutes race discrimination, as it is widely recognized that customer evaluations of workers are frequently racially biased. Indeed, Uber itself has recognized the racial bias of its own customers, Liss-Riordan wrote in the suit. So now I understand how the suit is put together and where it's coming from. Makes perfect sense. Uber strongly contests this. In a statement, the company called the suit flimsy, arguing that ridesharing has greatly reduced bias for both drivers and riders who now have fairer, more equitable access to work and transportation than ever before. Uber spokesman would not comment on how passenger star ratings factor into a driver's termination, but pointed out that when riders give a driver a low rating, the company asks for more information in an effort to determine if bias played any role. The app asks passengers after completing a ride to rate their driver on a scale of 1 to 5. Uber says this system helps keeps rides safe by identifying problematic drivers. In the suit, plaintiff Thomas Liu is described as Asian from Hawaii and speaking with a slight accent. He claims he was fired in October 2015 after his average star rating fell below 4.6. Leo contends that riders give him bad reviews because of his race. He noticed riders canceling ride requests. So let's stop there for a second, right? Leo contends the riders give him bad reviews because of his race. To a point, that can be true, right? But there's also another reason why a lot of riders give low ratings. I've been in cars, I'll admit, I've been in many Uber and Lyft cars, and I could have rated these individuals 1 or 2, right? The car was dirty as dirty could be, was disgusting. The driver was racing. The driver was tailgating. I could have easily rated a 1 or 2 because it was a bad driver, but I didn't. I didn't want to mess around with a guy's livelihood. So I only rate a driver if I genuinely get a 5-star service, right? And I tip them well, very well. But there are also a lot of bad drivers out there that don't absolutely care. I also understand where Leo is coming from. So he noticed riders canceling ride requests after he had already accepted the ride and the rider was able to view his picture. He also experienced riders asking where he was from in an unfriendly way, according to the lawsuit. Okay, so let me jump back in here. Anonymous Giraffe says, I think, we could go back to the article just now. Anonymous Giraffe says, I think the biggest reason Prop 22 might pass is because general public food by commercials that they believe the drivers want, yes, to keep the independence. Yeah, TV ads are very, very misleading. I agree. Rick Nelson saw a huge no on 22 sign in orange when I was there the other day. Yes, excellent. Ryan Lang says the smartest guy in the class is usually the stupidest one. Never too old to learn. Anonymous Giraffe says, I also think drivers who vote yes would because of fear of losing what is currently out in place by AB5 and the threats to lose part-time flexibility and new schedule and forced to accept all rides. Yeah. The flexibility will always be there. Freedom and flexibility will always be there. It's just that Uber and Lyft use those as fear marketing tools. Your flexibility will be taken away. Your freedom will be taken away. That is not true. Galacta Rooster says, I've had a huge beef with how star rating determines the driver's fate. I agree with you on that. I think it's a very unfair rating system very often. Den Mag says, hello there, professor from Bay Area. Nice. Lyft and Uber driver, Bay Area. Shout out to Den Mag. Hope you and your family are doing well. Ryan Lang says they have too many drivers. We've been playing this game too long. The US is a hard market to work in. Some drivers don't get it. Very true. Ed Seigelmeyer says, hello, my friends. Hello back. Dan Mag says, Uber 100% Arizona State University. Tuition is fake. I called Uber and they told me that I need to apply federal scholarship grant. I have a gold driver status. I've heard that as well. They try to sort of use that whole Arizona State University as a draw card to get young students in. I've heard that hasn't materialized for many top rated drivers. Abdul Akbari's in the house. How are you? James Campbell's in the house. I read that thing and I think you could sign it and it's good to go. At least you have representation there, James. I called my state representative in Allegheny County. Pam Levino's office about Harrisburg's response to my complaint from last year, waiting to hear back. Wicked Hustle guys in the house, how are you? Americans love their freedom and their dream of flexibility. And I don't think that you would lose flexibility or your freedom with yes or no. I think that's one thing that'll remain in place, right? However, the freedom to set your own rates, the freedom to be a true independent contractor, I don't see that with yes on 22. Now back to the article. Before Leo could file the federal lawsuit, he had to first file a discrimination complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. It did not make a determination on his case and dismissed it in August, allowing him to pursue the claim in court. The suit comes 8 days before voters in California will decide the future of ride-hailing in the state. A ballot initiative known as Proposition 22 carves out an exception to a new state law that would force companies like Uber to convert its drivers from independent contractors to employees. Critics of the proposition say ride-hailing companies are attempting to avoid providing its drivers benefits like paid sick leave, unemployment protection, and health insurance. Backers say drivers prefer flexibility over employee status. App-based companies Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and Instacart have pumped in nearly $200 million to persuade voters to pass the proposition that effectively creates a legal loophole for ride-sharing and delivery companies. Uber and Lyft threatened to leave California altogether if the measure fails. Last week, a state appeals court affirmed a lower court ruling that ride-sharing drivers are central to the company's business and therefore should be afforded employee benefits. So, another lawsuit. Where is Uber stock? It was on 36 or 37 yesterday. Boom, there it is. It's gone down again. 3.43%. It's gone down. So as I say, I keep on saying this every week. It's never really getting out of the 35 mark, right? Listed at 45, went all the way down to 17, fought its way back up again, and sort of hovers around the mid-30s, right? So the next topic we'll talk about, but let's jump back into the room. Wow, Abdul is 24,000 trips. Anybody? 24,000 trips and Black Diamond. Incredibly impressive. Wicked Hustle guy, me either. It's not like there won't be passengers needing rides at all hours. Rick Nelson, if passengers were required to rate drivers, just as drivers are required to rate passengers, the system would be much more fair. Yeah. Got to be both ways, right? Got to be both ways. Gilad Kuriski says Uber allows you the freedom to be their slave. That's a very, exactly. That is so well said. Thank you for the laugh. I needed that. Gilad, that's great sarcastic humor. Uber allows you the freedom to be their slave. Oh, God, so true, says Rashim. Wicked Hustle guy says the entire market is on a downtrend, to be fair, but I did get out of my position. Good. I appreciate the humor. If there's anything I love is if people bring their jokes to the table, right? Because we truly, in these crazy times, need a good laugh. We need a good laugh, right? It's too serious, this whole pandemic and 220,000 deaths and spiking and oh my God. So humor is so important. Keep it coming. So I mentioned early on, or let's say about 1 or 2 videos ago, that we're literally in the 15th round, right? The 15th boxing round, 15th round, right? And the bell rings on November the 3rd, and that's when they tally up the votes. And whether it's the driver in the left corner of the boxing ring, or whether it's the gig companies in the red trunks on the right side of the boxing ring, that remains to be determined. But what you can still do while round 15 is in effect, don't let your guard down and keep on slugging it out. Because where Uber and Lyft are slugging it out, Uber and Lyft are pouring millions of dollars into Facebook ads to protect their business in California. And 2 days ago, there was an article that Uber went from $200 million, and this is not just Uber, Instacart, DoorDash, Lyft combined, from $200 million and they put in another $20 million in these final 10 days. That should tell you that they're really, really worried. I bet you anything, if you're pouring in another $20 million, obviously you're buying more Facebook ads. You're also learning maybe where you are not doing well or you're not getting a lot of good feedback. I think their misleading TV ads will buy them a lot of votes because they're constructed in such a way that you completely believe the company. IQ boy, thank you, my friend. Thought the bell was to summon your wife. No. The bell, I wouldn't do that. No, listen. The bell is the 15th round. We're in the 15th round. No, I wouldn't. I would never do that. Hey, wife, ding, 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 ding. She'll freaking divorce me in a heartbeat. We Get Hustle Guy says, don't stop handing out the push clubs. Yeah, those push clubs will hand out a lot of those from the age of 12 till 21, playing rugby for 9 years. A lot of push clubs. When you're down there and you're in the ruck, or you flatty the guy on the ear. Usually leads to bigger fights. But yeah, I will not let up on the push clubs. That's true. So yes, on Proposition 22, backed by Uber and Lyft, has spent $3.7 million on Facebook ads in California in the past 30 days. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is smiling. Hey, Uber just spent $3.7 million with Mark Zuckerberg in the last 30 days. That's big money. Another crazy thing that came out about 3 days ago, and I made over 50 videos going after all the Uber attorneys on this because they're scum of the earth. Randall, Heimovicki, Tony West, numero uno scum, right? Is that they set up a non-profit identity. Now, a non-profit identity, which could be like a 501c3 or so, it's a legal identity. Why did they set this up? Because they sent millions and millions of yes on Proposition 22 mailers through the United States postal system, through this nonprofit who picked up the tab, California taxpayer. They actually found a way so that they didn't have to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on their own advertising, but instead dump it on the California citizen. Well, that doesn't go down very well. And the more Californians that would find out about that, I will guarantee you, the more that will vote no. Those are the type of stories that you take, you drop in on Facebook in these groups, right? You have big groups of people. I have 2 Facebook groups, maxed out 5,000 friends. They're not all friends. 5,000 in the one account, 5,000 in the other account. A lot of those people are Californians. So I systematically, not 10 a day, but a few a day, I drop in some seeds that get these Californians thinking, right? One of those was the fact that Californians picked up their tab for their yes on 22 mailers to the tune of several $1 million. Just boom, put that in your Facebook page, put that in a Facebook group, and if Californians read it, you have another no on Proposition 22 vote. There's many ways to slug it out on social media. Of course, being proactive and setting up your own accounts, Best way to go. Bumsmack DC says, bottom line, you need a dash cam to fight back. We know Uber doesn't have our back. Dash cam, dash cam, dash cam. 2 thumbs up on that one. Jashawn Harris is in the house. What's up, T? Just got here. Thank you for joining us, Jashawn. Every Monday we do Our House Mondays. What I like about it, it's basically, it's your room. It's your platform on this Monday, and you use it, right? So you put out the questions. If Jashawn has a question, or Wicked Hustle Guy, what you will notice, Jashawn, is that people rally around people to help each other out. So as we put a, hey, did you guys experience this and this and this in this market? People chime in, right? Or people in Nevada or Vegas say, hey, have you noticed they reduced these rates? What do you think? People chime in. So it's a great opportunity on Our House Mondays for just to get it out there, air the dirty laundry, put forward the suggestions, share your opinions, and we can duke it out in the most positive way. This is not a battle, Our House Mondays, but this is more a platform where we learn and grow and share with each other. NOP's in the house. Halil has a good laugh. I'm glad Halil's laughing there. NOP says, what up, everyone? Good to see you here. Rashim says, I keep 4 cams on my car, 2 interior view and 2 exterior view. Definitely helpful when reporting issues to Lyft. Wow. I mean, you can't get away from Rashim's lenses. He's got 4 dash cams following your ass, right? You're getting filmed from every angle, from the back of your head, from the left side of your head, from the right side of your head, and from the front. He's hitting you with 4 lenses. I like that, Rashim. Must have cost you quite a bit of money to install it. I would just want to know, Rashim, when a person gets into your car and counts 4 dash cams, don't they get like a little bit insecure? Like, don't they get like a little bit paranoid? I love it. Jashawn's flexing the muscles there. Thank you. And Jashawn, you know, we'd be talking, Jashawn and myself went back in a couple of phone calls about him moving on to become a private driver in the next 6 months. Where you also get a lot of great feedback is right here, right on Facebook, right? You have your city page, right? You jump into your city page, Cleveland, Ohio, right? And put in Uber Cleveland, and there's a lot of groups there. You join them, and you get a lot of good feedback, right? And part of your marketing campaign is obviously to create 1 or 2 very good Facebook groups, right? You could have your Cleveland private driver group and invite in other drivers, right? And let people come to that page and know, okay, they can contact you because you have your phone number there, you have the link to your website, they can contact you for trips. But you invite in all the private drivers. I'm telling you, in this business, the more you share knowledge, the more you share your space, it comes back to you, right? We don't have to be like this. It's all mine. It's all mine. No. The entire pizza, this entire pizza with all these 16 slices, it's all mine. That doesn't fly, right? Chop that pizza up. Boom, 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 boom. Dish it out. I tell you what, when you go out there and share, IQ boy, good look sibling, Wicked Hustle Guy. That is good. He said, thank you, Wicked Hustle Guy, for the $2. He said, IQ boy, good look sibling. That's great. The more you are willing to share information, it's amazing how it comes back to you. France Murphy says, I'm guessing Illinois is watching California carefully. If it falls our way, will the other states jump on it? If Uber can get its way in California, they've already said they're going to try it out in other states. To them, it will be like a green light, right? If they get their proposition through, they're going to do the same formula in the 2nd biggest market, 3rd biggest market, 4th biggest market, 5th biggest market. They will try and keep on pushing a yes on Proposition 22 type of ballot in other states and get their way, right? They're going to muscle their way through against the states, and they'll pay money. They'll pay money to make money. James said, if you know how to discreetly place the dash cams, while posting that the ride is recorded, they got nothing on you. Yeah, I would put like tiny little messages in the car. You've been recorded, right? I remember the first time I installed a dash cam. This is years and years and years ago. And I had a big little red light shine up on there. And I had some celebrity dude in the car. And he gets in, he says, "Hey, am I being recorded?" And I looked up and I said, "Oh, I apologize. It is on. Let me switch it off." And I pulled it out, right? So he was happy. But what it taught me is I got to be careful, right? With Uber and Lyft, I'd film them all day long because anything can happen. You don't know these characters. With private clients, you know them. And you don't want to intrude into their private sphere, right? And you know that they're not going to pick a fight with you in a car because you've driven them multiple times. But with Uber and Lyft, let that camera run. Just film, 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 right? And then from then on, I had a few other private clients said, "Oh, you have dash cams in the car, I noticed." I said, "Yeah, it's off. Look, let me show you." So I pushed it in. I said, "Now it's on." But I keep it out, so you're not being recorded. I only put it in case of an emergency. And I've had definitely have had 2 or 3 big emergencies where I put it in and started recording. I didn't publicize or publish that footage because I had seen several drivers get deactivated over published YouTube videos, dash cam footage, right? Several drivers lost their privileges, a couple that I know. So other than the Trump and Biden campaigns, the major party committees, and one anti-Republican PAC, no other group has spent as much as yes on 22 during that stretch. Should Proposition 22 pass, app-based rideshare companies would be able to continue classifying employees as contractors. And the headline here, Uber and Lyft are pouring millions of dollars into Facebook ads to protect their business in California. With just over a week before the 2020 election, that's right, there's only about 7 or 8 days left to the big day, and it is a big day, Uber and Lyft are sparing no expense trying to convince Facebook users in California to back them at the polls. So knowing that's where they really are spending money in the last 30 days, if you want to counter it, get out and put some good articles on No on 22 in Facebook groups and duke it out with the people. El Chapo says, "Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Hope you and your family are doing great." Mohammed Khalil says, here as a freebie, if any time Lyft freezes, a good second phone with track phone will unfreeze. Drivers can have Lyft open on 2 phones, not Uber. Very good point. Thank you for sharing. Great information. I always have 2 phones, 2 different plans, AT&T, Verizon, purely because of connectivity and because I wanted Uber and Lyft apps running at the same time, and I wanted to toggle between the driver app and the rider app to get some intel. So you literally have 4 apps running at the same time, 2 rider apps and 2 driver apps. That's the only reason why I always run 2 phones. Rory Sheen says, "God bless you, Torsten, for all your bravery and advice." Thank you. That means the world to me. That type of encouragement keeps me fighting. I've had my run-ins with the people, not only with Uber and Lyft, with the executives and the attorneys, but also with people on the street, right? But you gotta stay firm. You can't be intimidated. You can't live your life in fear. You gotta stand for what you believe in. That's how I was raised, right? Rashim says they are very low profile and very expensive. That's why I have an LLC. The professor has one of my videos. Awesome. I appreciate you being concerned, and it's a valid question. I tell you, it's a valid question. IQ Boy says, "Wicked Hustle Guy, I just subscribed to your channel, but all I see is Rideshare Hub popping up. I hope you got the right one." Well, you gotta understand the one thing about the Rideshare Hub, right? No matter what, when you conduct a search on Wicked Hustle Guy, or Dustin is Driving, or Rideshare Professor, or Harry the Rideshare Guy. What I do not like, what I know he does, what I do not like about the Rideshare Hub is that he uses all of our keywords to steal targeted traffic, right? So he embeds all of those keywords in all of those words, even like Wicked Hustle Guy, in his keywords, in his descriptions, to try and take away. He's known for that. And it's just a thing that you don't do amongst YouTubers, but desperate people do desperate things. So, I'm not here to lecture him. He knows it's wrong. He knows it's not acceptable in the industry, but he does it anyway. As I understand it, Prop 22 will nullify AB5 and allow gig companies to write their own labor laws. Correct, Jimmy Abshot Echo. People need to understand that. Nullify AB5. There is a way to overturn yes on Proposition 22, but it would take a 7 out of 8 votes. I don't exactly know how it goes, but it's a tough one to overturn yes on Prop 22 if they get it. Rory says, I'm currently in business with this guy. I've paid $5,000 for his course, but I believe that it might be a scam. He is pretty famous online. And what I would do is, if you think it's a scam, it is a scam. The moment you think it's a scam, it is a scam. And I would turn to your credit card company and say, hey, I didn't pay for that. I didn't pay that money. Somebody else did. Because as long as you didn't sign any papers, right? As long as your signature is nowhere, Rory, the money will come back. So you do a chargeback, right? Sorry, somebody hacked my system. I did not pay that $5,000. If you think it's a scam, it usually is a scam. I can look into it, but depends where you ran into him. Now, if he was advertising on Facebook or YouTube, you could also turn to YouTube and Facebook and say, hang on one second, somebody went through your platform with my credit card information and scammed me to the tune of $5,000. I need to get my money back. I'm afraid I didn't fall for it. You're afraid you fell for it or you didn't fall for it? I'm trying to make sense, you think. Moran Poba. I don't know. Unless he has your signature and your 16 digits, then he has a case. He doesn't. If he has your 16 digits but does not have your signature, you'll get your money back. Just go down to your bank and open up a case of fraud. So nationwide, according to Facebook's ad library, supporters of Proposition 22 are outspending every political effort, obviously with the exception of the Trump and Biden presidential campaigns, the main party organizations, and a PAC called Stop Republicans. More than half of yes on Prop 22's total Facebook outlay has come in the past 30 days. Uber and Lyft have been by far the biggest backers of Proposition 22, contributing the bulk of the almost 190 million raised to get the measure past. Postmates, which Uber is acquiring, has been a big funder along with Instacart and DoorDash. The Facebook ads are mostly 15 to 30-second videos claiming that drivers prefer to be contractors because of flexibility. And again, those drivers are actually paid Hollywood actors. One of the group's most expensive ads ran during the first 2 weeks of October and cost between $400,000 and $450,000, targeting people between the ages of 18 and 34. Jeff Vetter, the spokesman for the Yes on 22 campaign, said in an email that almost 1 million drivers need the measure to pass to save and improve their work, while millions of California residents rely on app-based services. And I have a message for Jeff Vetter, the spokesman for Yes on 22. You're a piece of crap. You're the scum of the earth because You go and set up a non-profit organization and send all your Yes on 22 campaign mailers to homes, to houses, through the United States Postal Services, and Californians are picking up your tab, Mr. Vetter. How do you feel about that? How do you think Californians will feel about that? So, Jeff Vetter, slap him down, good puss club. Californians, vote him out. No on Proposition 22, because he's a complete con artist if you have to run mailers through a nonprofit and the United States Postal Services and dump those costs on taxpayers, namely Californians. Shame on you, Jeff Vetter. We are committed to winning Prop 22 and will continue communicating with voters until all votes are cast, Vetter wrote. We are committing to fighting you every step of the way and outsmarting you and out-street smarting you, Mr. Vetter, on social media with 1/50th of the money spent. Watch how we do it, Mr. Vetter. Uber and Lyft are pushing the measure on their own apps as well. Users who launch the Uber app to order a ride in California are likely to see the message, keep drivers earning, followed by a link to information promoting Proposition 22. Lyft says on its app that Prop 22 is a win-win. I don't agree. IQ Boy says, Wicked Hustle Guy, down payment on a house, it depends on what kind of house. Pigsties are cheap. Rory Sheen says he sells lectures about acquisitions but doesn't own a single business himself. I believe you can help me conclude if he might be a scam, judging from what I see. Yeah, I can definitely sniff. Send me a link. I can sniff scams out. And I've confronted many of them, and I've only fallen for a handful in my life, and that's early in my 20s maybe. Since then, I've learned from it, right? And what I do very often, this is what I do, and I spend money on this. Let me show you what I do. If I do any big transactions, I'm talking like bigger transactions, I go, that's what I do. This is the guy I hire. One of the best detectives in LA, if not in California, is a personal friend of mine. He's in his N60s. He's from Ireland. His name's Irvine Zazinski, has a detective agency. I get all the dirt. I get every little item on the person and decide, hey, I'm going to do business with you or not. I won't do business with you, depending on a lot of his input and feedback, right? So sometimes it pays to know who you're dealing with, especially if you do bigger transactions. If there's too much dirt on a person, or if a person's been involved in too many lawsuits or scams, you stay a million miles away from them. Thank you very much. I did my research on you. You're a scumbag. Goodbye. So led by the California Labor Federation and AFL-CIO, No on 22 has raised 1/8 of the sum of money as the other side. It says the proposition was written by app companies for app companies. In a Facebook ad that started running this month, opponents say that Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash wrote deceptive Proposition 22 to deny drivers their rights. They hired expensive lawyers and paid political operatives to collect enough signatures to ask California voters just one question: will you let app companies buy themselves a special exemption in the law to exploit workers for profit? A poll released last month from UC Berkeley's Institute of Governmental Studies indicated that 39% of likely voters support Proposition 22, while 36% oppose it and 25% remain undecided. So it's our job, it's my job to connect with those 25% of the undecided, right? Yeah, you have to send me a link. I mean, you're throwing out a name like Moran Poba. I mean, didn't you just go on Google and do some research on him? Let's see. Google. I mean, you can get a. There it is. There's your answer right there. There we go. Read that. Moran Poba is actively deceiving small businesses around the world. There we go. It's a scam. It's a scam. Go and get your money back. Go and get your money back. We can shut him down, dude. I mean, these type of guys, you can get your money back, but you got to be willing to club, because it all depends where he's set up. And usually, how you find out where he's set up is you go to whois.com, put in the URL, and you will see where the URL is registered. If his company is offshore or in the Netherlands or in India, forget it. You'll never ever see your money again. But if he is operating in one of these 50 states, firstly, step number one, you go to your bank and say somebody hacked your system and took $5,000 out of your account. How did you pay for this? On a credit card? Go and get your money back. Okay, well, yes. Now you're moving in the realm of being angered, disappointed. You're upset with yourself that you fell for this. But take a deep breath, recollect your thoughts. Number one, go to your bank. Initiate a chargeback. Did you sign anything with him? Hopefully you didn't sign anything. Hopefully he doesn't have your signature. And you just say, sorry, I found out that my accounts got hacked on Facebook or wherever, blah, blah, blah. Can you initiate a chargeback? And then you give the bank all the supporting documentation. There it is, right? If you need some help, you can always hit me up. Now, so we covered that article, the Facebook article, and again, I showed you how you can fight back there. Is you get into these Facebook groups, right? You mix it up, you insert links. Another article by one of my favorite tech blogs, TechCrunch. Human capital court ruling could mean trouble for Uber and Lyft as gig workers may finally become employees. Pretty damn good article. If he has an office in Panama, you're already screwed. That means he's in a, yeah, you can forget about it. Only way you get to the guy, like I said, is you go. The less you talk right now, the better. Just go and contact your bank and say somebody used your credit card, and just be honest. Did you sign anything, Rory? Did you sign anything? Did you put your signature on any documentation? Answer me that simple question. So welcome back to Human Capital. As many of you know, Human Capital is a weekly newsletter where I break down the latest in labor as well as diversity and inclusion in tech. It's officially available as a newsletter. So if you want this content when it comes in Hot Fridays at 1 p.m., there's a subscribe button. I'll leave it. Since the election is coming up, this edition focuses heavily on California ballot measure, Proposition 2022. The TLDR is that gig companies like Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash really want to keep classifying their drivers and delivery folks as independent contractors. So they put millions of dollars into this ballot measure. This week, we saw Prop 22 related complaints and lawsuits filed, and an appeals court judge decide Uber and Lyft must reclassify their drivers. We also heard directly from gig workers on both sides about why they do or do not want to be independent contractors. But we also look at SoftBank's first investment from its D&I fund, Pinterest's addition of a new Black board member, and more. So let's jump in. Labor struggles. Uber and Lyft must classify drivers as employees. Let me just see if there's anything else we haven't covered, because I don't want to go over something. I'll leave the link there for you. I'll leave the link there for you. I don't think there's anything in that article that we haven't covered to date. All righty. So we're on the 1 hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything we haven't covered today? Is there anything that someone would still like to share or bring up? If not, did you find a place to display your art piece? Yes, I'll take a picture for you. Thank you, Jimmy. Drop your link in here. Rory, you're welcome. If I may ask you, Rory, personal question, how old are you? FBI is not going to do anything for you. No, you'd have to start the process with, FBI is not going to help you on that. Sorry, they won't. You have to, number one, you have to talk 24. Okay, so you're very young. So you put a lot of money into a scam artist out there. You want to initiate a chargeback and start a fraudulent transaction. Answer me this question honestly. Did you sign any documentation with this person? Did you sign anything? Wicked Hustle Guy says, which undercuts the IC spurt. You paid for his course, what, with a credit card? When did you pay? Okay, when did you pay for this card? When? Date? Approximately? Yeah, the No on Proposition 22 campaign has hired the heavy hitter Gloria Allred in the ads. Maybe we should look at that. Ride Lisa says, I'm late. What did Moran Poba do? Oh, he's a scam artist. He takes $5,000 from people. I just read up several of the complaints. It has nothing to do with rideshare. Where's Gloria? Gloria Allred. Gloria. Allred. No, on prop.
Uber and Lyft are like every big guy I've ever brought down. Prop 22 doesn't help their drivers, it denies them benefits. 22 doesn't help women. It actually weakens sexual harassment laws, which are meant to protect them. Uber and Lyft aren't even required to investigate sexual harassment claims. I agree with the LA Times, no on 22. Uber and Lyft want all the power. So show them the real power is you. Vote no on Prop 22.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Okay, so Rory, you're not answering my questions, dude. Did you sign any documents? Did you sign your signature on any papers? Come, answer me, because I need to move on, dude. Answer me. Dude, help me out. I'm spending so much time on your case. Just answer very basic questions. Did you sign any documentation? Yes, no answer. Did you sign anything in that email link? Did you sign anything? Did you sign? Did you put your signature on anything? Neil Moritz says, I've convinced at least 10 riders to vote no on 22. Love it. Love it, Neil. Great, great feedback. Great feedback. That's it. There you go. So you call your bank. Say your email account was hacked. Your email account was hacked and your credit card was hacked. Call them right now. That's how you do it. Right now. Initiate fraud. You get a new credit card. Get a new debit card, a new credit card. Just say your credit card information was hacked. Your email was hacked. You did not make this transaction. Do it right now. Right now. That's the only phone call that counts. Nothing else. You don't have to spend any further time talking to me about it. That's all you need to do right now. You get off the live stream and you go and contact your bank. Wicked Hustle Guy. Neil Moritz, 2 thumbs up. All right, my friends, where are we? We're on hit the like button, 21. Riders really want to know what drivers think. They seem to know Uber and Lyft are up to no good. Good. And then you probably have a very easy way to explain it to the rider, right? So once Neil has educated them, you know, and shared with them, because they are inquisitive, they want to know, and then you put out lay it out for them, some facts, and that's it, right? Slick Nick says, how are you, buddy? Good to see you here. Rick Nelson. That's it. I've already said that. Jimmy, tell him again. Rory Sheens, your only business is with the bank. Then you bank will go after the fraud. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Been trying to say that all along. Or I did say that 10 times. So go and get your cash back right now. Oh. Stretch. Whew. Did anybody work on the weekend? What I definitely love is to get numbers for Saturday or Sunday, especially Saturday. I love it when people share Saturday numbers with me, big numbers. Rideshare Lisa says, hello, Rick. Slick Nick says, this last Saturday, I got 3 trips with a 5x multiplier. Whoop, whoop. Yep, that's that 5x multiplier strategy. I'm telling you, milk it all the way through till November the 3rd, California drivers. Milk that 5x like all the cows that you own on the meadow. Milk it. Wicked Hustle Guy says, I got like 330 on UberX. Cool. I like that. Neil Moritz says, worked Saturday, did 658 with 5x. Dude, you're my hero. You're my hero. That's it. Those are the stories. Those are the stories I like to hear. And Wicked Hustle Guy says, damn, you guys are putting me to shame. But the thing is, you don't know what platform Neil drove on. Doesn't mean he necessarily drove on UberX platform. Maybe he drove on Excel, right? Thanks to me. Well, good. This is, buddy, milk it all the way through till November the 3rd. What I say to people, enjoy that multiplier while it lasts, because God forbid, I hope they don't get yes on 22. But if they get a yes on 22, you can kiss that multiplier goodbye. And I'm willing to take bets on that. You see, there we go. Neil said it. I did X and Excel. And Wicked Hustle Guy, you were on X, right? So that's the difference of cars. That's why I push everyone who's on the X platform. I say, go to at least XL or SUV. XL is a phenomenal platform to be on. Ask Paul Figueroa. Ask Thomas, the Rideshare Pro. Right? They will tell you how good XL is. XL, the more people you fit in the car, the more luggage, the more tips you're going to make. XL is a winner. It is a complete winner. And you are, Neil, you would agree with me, or I'm asking you, and I'm saying you don't have to agree with me, but if you look at the cost of an X versus an XL, it's only a few $1,000s more for an XL. But the potential in earnings are like day and night, right? So, what Wicked Hustle Guy, where I would like to see you go is, putting in those hours. You probably put in the same amount of hours as Neil Moritz on the Saturday. You made 330, he doubled it. He made 658. It's exactly double. 660, exactly double. And that's the difference between X and XL. And the difference between going all balls, all balls in, 5X, 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 5X. I'm telling you, milk it all the way right through to November the 3rd. And maybe they keep the multiplier around till January. I don't know if they get it yes on 22. My guess is they could yank it anytime, right? I cannot see the multiplier being around. And one of the big reasons here why, and I think this is, hear me out, just hear out my idea. I think this is potentially one of the biggest lawsuits that will still follow. I'd like to discuss this with law firms because my brain is always legal-minded. I would think that the other 49 states could sue Uber and say, hang on, why do you have these double standards, right? You pretend to be this company that has this app, and you have one standard for California with a multiplier, and you're not giving me the equal opportunity in Arizona, in Texas, in Florida, in New York, in New Jersey, in Colorado, in Utah, in the Carolinas, in the Dakotas, in Alaska, in Hawaii, to make the same money as California. I think that is a massive, massive legitimate lawsuit, right? The double standards. Uber has one standard for California and another standard for other states, denying them the opportunity to make those type of monies with a multiplier. I think that is a massive, massive, massive lawsuit in the making. Mark my words, because it's easy to prove the double standards. Why do you have one app running? You say you're this company, transportation company. Why do you have this one app running for California and a completely different type of app for the other 49 states? Why are you denying me in Las Vegas? Why are you denying me in Miami, Florida, the opportunity to make the same type of money as a driver in Los Angeles with a multiplier does? Well, I think that is a legitimate lawsuit. I think that's a legitimate lawsuit. What do you think, my brother, Inland Empire Salvi? Rory, did you pay for an online course and did not sign any paperwork, either in person or e-sign? That's what I said. As long as he didn't sign. As long as he did not sign or e-sign anything, and he said he didn't, he should be good. Neil Moritz says, spoke with a rider today. He also drives in Chicago. He said they hinted at bringing multiplier there. Listen, I want to see the multiplier everywhere. I would love to see it in Illinois. I'd love to see every driver. That's what I'm pushing for. I would like to see every driver around the United States and internationally get the multiplier. Why not? Why these double standards, Darragh Khosrowshahi? And what's up with Lyft? I mean, they're not even participating in this game. They're like, okay, let Uber do it. Let Uber do it. We'll just fly underneath the radar. Lyft is not offering a multiplier. Rick Nelson is checking the box. An electron is substitute for electronic signature. No, it's not, because somebody could have fraudulently done that, right? Your signature can be proven. Yes, that was his signature. If someone tries to fraud, if somebody fraudulently uses your signature on paperwork, also there's experts that can prove it, right? But as long as he, as Inland Empire, and as Jimmy says, as long as there's no signature, my muchacho over there, my amigo, can get his money back. Go and get your $5,000, $5,000, 24-year-old, spend $5,000 on a course. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I want you to get the money back. Wow. I did a wow. I did a review on Parts Geek because they are such scam artists. Parts Geek, never ever order anything from partsgeek.com. I did a review and they just sent, I set the record here, 35,000 people read my review. 35.8 thousand read my review in the last few months. I am so happy that I connected with 35,000 people and warned them, don't buy here. And I gave them all the evidence, all the screenshots, everything. 35,800 people read my review on SiteJabber. These are 35,000 people I can protect from Parts Geek scamming them. That puts a smile on my face. Oh. Yes, Wicked Hustle Guy. No matter what, drivers who worked in 2020 can sue as employees even if 22 passes. Correct. The answer is yes. I've asked the same question to two law firms. Answer is yes. Now, if they get yes on 22 and you drive all throughout 2021 and you think you can sue them in 2021 because you drove in 2021, no case. As long as that was done before November the 3rd. Anytime prior to November the 3rd, you can go out and sue. Where are we on the stock price? 35s. Came down $2. No, I'm not calling you. I can call you if you want to. Oh, I prom. Hey, you got a Wicked Hustle Guy. You got to call me. I'm gonna I'm going to teach you the trick. You ready? I'll teach to anyone here. You ready? You ready? You want to know how you get traffic? Ready? Okay, here it is. So you set up your, you can just answer yes, no. You set up your Wicked Hustle Guy channel and you started putting videos in there, right? Yes, no. Good. Step one. Create a second channel and you call it Uber and Lyft Hubs. Uber and Lyft Hubs. Okay? You get all the list of cities, all the list of US cities. Okay? You with me? Yes, no. No, you get all the list of Uber and Lyft cities. Okay, watch this. Okay, Uber cities around the world. See that? See that? Okay, see that? Abilene, Akron, Albuquerque, Amarillo, Ames, blah, blah, blah. 600 cities. Now you make short 15 to 20-second videos. You got to look up, right? You got to look up. This is where the work comes in. Abilene, Uber Hub. Akron, Uber Hub. Not every one of those cities has a hub. Most of them do. 80% have them. With me? Yes or no? Is that a yes? Okay, cool. So you make short videos. Hey, by the way, Uber drivers in Akron, the link, the address to the Uber hub is below. Please subscribe to my channel, The Wicked Hustle Guy. I've got many other great tips and help for you. And underneath, you put the link over to The Wicked Hustle Guy. So you build out your videos, right? 600 short videos. You with me? Yes, no. Okay. So all of these cities, Las Vegas, Las Cruces, Little Rock, Los Angeles, 90% of these have hubs. And all you do is you put the address in the description below. Because the number one thing Wicked Hustle Guy new people are searching for, and I'm revealing like my numero one trick, okay? My number one trick, where I made the real money, like the real sign-up money. And don't share this with, God forbid, please do not share this with the rideshare hub, right? But that is how I had a separate channel feeding my main channel with all the hubs in there, over 600 hubs. Made a fortune. Made a fortune. So that's how you do it. Right? You got all your cities. I'm on N. I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Philadelphia, Palm Springs, all there. Tons and tons of cities. Wyoming, Wichita, Waco, Tulsa, Toledo, Stillwater, Spokane, Springfield, Illinois, blah, 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 blah. Get the address. Inland Empire, Salvi, are you listening in? You want to get a lot of referrals, get a lot of traffic? Set up a second channel for hubs. That's it, dude. I just gave you the, not $1 million, but I made a lot of dollars like that. Sure, you can call me, absolutely. All right, I'm going to go till 1 hour 30, 90 minutes. So I'm going to hang in with you guys for another 5 minutes because I don't like to abandon the ship before the hour mark. I usually don't enjoy abandoning the ship before the 1 hour 30 mark or the 2 hour mark. I usually try to go 1 hour, 1.5, or 2 hours. So anybody else wants, man, that actually made me happy that I got 35,000 reviews in a few months on that Parts Geek. It's off the charts. I'm just 2 reviews away from reaching the next contributor level. Nice. Slicknick says, even though I submitted wage claims with RDU, should I still file a suit against Uber and Lyft before November the 3rd? Yeah, I would honestly reach out to I would reach out to Mark Potter at Potter Handy and ask him that question. Because if you're going through the wage claim, it can take up to 2 years. Here, email him and you tell him, Torsten, here's his email. There, ask that same question. How can you expedite? Bumsmack DC, when are drivers going to start seeing results from these lawsuits? It has been 1.5 years now. I have not heard a word. Which one did you file with? Which company did you file with? Because of the pandemic, I mean, it pushes it all the way through to 2021. That's just the way it is. I mean, I filed a personal lawsuit against one of these companies in February, and I got into court at the end of August. Yes, please. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a minimum 1 year, and going through the California route, they say up to 2 years. So, you know, there are people that filed 2 years ago, and maybe they were like paid out 8, 9 months ago, right? They've been waiting 12, 14 months, and then they finally got this settlement. Uber and Lyft don't want to pay out, so they keep on pushing and pushing out. With California winning on appeal, that strengthens your case. This is recent appeal. Yes, on 22 is not going to help anyone if they try to file after November. I mean, if they file in 2021 for misclassification, in 2021, you're not going to get any dollars. But if you're filing for misclassification in 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, going backwards, yeah, show me the money. Okay, another minute. And then Empire Salvi says, yes, please. Yeah, you text me. That formula, I was just sharing it with Wicked Hustle Guy. I'll text it to you. I'll text you and show you how you get crazy traffic and crazy subscribers to your website, right? So one of my strategies, how I got to about 38,000 and a few hundred on this channel. Just on this channel alone. Yeah, it's Moose, you're right. I did some videos on Parts Geek a few months back. Yes, a few months back. And that's when I filed several reviews to get my money back. And one of the sites I put a complaint or review on was SiteJabber, and it says I reached 35,800 people read my review. That's good. That's 35,800 people that will not be buying on Parts Geek. Neil Moritz says, just file and forget about it. It will come. Yeah, you get, I get updates from Mark Potter because obviously I'm sending him a lot of drivers, and right now they're in the discovery phase. Anybody that's been in a lawsuit knows how long a discovery phase. Requests for admissions, interrogatories, depositions, subpoenas. They don't comply, motions to compel. It's a long process. All right, amigos, my friends, 1 hour, 30 minutes. I did it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Our House Mondays will be back when? In 7 days' time, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that's 1 day before the elections. 1 day before the big day, right? 1 day before if I'm not mistaken, let's see, next Monday is the 2nd of November. That's 1 day before the election. So we'll have our next Our House Mondays. You're welcome, Wicked Hustle Guy. We'll have our next Our House Mondays 1 day before Election Day. And have your Twitter accounts ready. Wicked Hustle Guy, Inland Empire. Let's fire off all those messages on that Monday. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's just all say, hey, I tweeted, I Facebook. Let's do it together. One last massive push on that Monday. Because on the 3rd of November, the bell is going to ring after the 15th round. And we have to be victorious, my brothers and sisters. God bless you. Love you all. And I will see you soon. Be well. Sanitize those cars. Get these suckers distributed. Wear them in the car. Make sure your passengers wear them. And have a good one. Take care, everyone. Thank you and thank you.